In the Kurukshetra war on that day, instead of Arjun, if Gautam Siddhartha was standing there, what do you think Krishna would have told him? Would Krishna have urged him to stay on the battlefield? Let's look at this. Arjun comes to the battlefield and he doesn't want to fight the war. He wants to take renunciation. He thinks there is just sin involved in this, and what is the point in getting a kingdom like this? Now let's understand what is Arjun's problem. Is Arjun's problem fighting a war, or is Arjun's problem fighting this war? Arjun's problem is that he does not want to fight this war, because in this war, his own people are there in the opposing army. His Pitama is there. His Guru is there. Now, how can he fight his own people? He does not think that there is no point in having a kingdom. If you simply change the faces of the people in the opposing army, Arjun will go ahead and fight. What is his problem? He's a trained warrior. This is like a politician's son is involved in a rape case, and the politician does not want to put him through justice just because that man is his son. This does not work. Now, an important thing to understand here is that Arjun is going through an existential crisis. He is a sensitive being. He's a thoughtful human being. He is really thinking, what is the point of this war? Is there any point in it? Unlike Bhim and Duryodhan, who are passionate about the war, he is not like that. He is divided in his mind. He's conflicted in his mind. Osho, in his commentary on the Bhagavad Gita, says that Arjun has seeds of violence in him. He is not 100% free from the idea of war. And what does the seed of violence means? So he has attachment to me and mine. So his Pitama, his Guru. His question is, what is the point in acquiring this kingdom if I have to lose my own? Because if he loses his own, then who will celebrate his victory? Ego gets strengthened only when your own people are there to celebrate your victory. If your own people get killed, then your I also becomes weak. So Arjun is in this conflicted state, and this conflicted state is referred to as ego, where there is division. Because the moment you say mine, you have created the other. My country versus your country. And Krishna sees through him. He sees that Arjun is a Kshatriya right down to his bones. And now he is at the brink of an existential crisis. It's a huge opportunity when one comes to this kind of a situation, because it paves the path towards self-realization, towards understanding one's true nature. And if Arjun runs away from the battlefield and becomes a renunciant, he's the kind of person who will go into the forest, look at the trees and the branches, and will probably be creating bows and arrows out of it, because that is how he is. That is the truth of his nature. Now, Gautam Siddhartha was very different. Gautam Siddhartha also faced an existential crisis. He saw one dead man, one sick man, one old man, and one sannyasi. And the question came to him, what is the point of life? If this is what is going to happen to me, if I am also going to suffer like this, then what is the point of life? He actually 100% realized that there was no point in acquiring a kingdom, there was no point in all these materialistic acquisitions. So much so that on that night, he left his wife and child because his longing was so deep. His crisis was such that he had to go and find an answer. Arjun is not like this. Arjun is not total in his talk of war being useless, in his talk of kingdom having no point. He still sees the point in having a kingdom, only if it is acquired through a different war. So if that day, instead of Arjun, Gautam Siddhartha was on the battlefield, Gita would have never happened. Because Krishna could see through Gautam Siddhartha as well, that he was complete and total in his realization that war was futile. Arjun is not total in this realization. Krishna is not pushing Arjun into war and violence. Krishna is reminding Arjun of his Kshatriya dharma. Because it is only in following his Kshatriya dharma where he can be complete and total, he can come into self-realization, into moksha, into liberation.